Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we're playing Jeskai Wizards featuring Flame of Anor. This is a really cool card that allows you to have two abilities instead of one if you have a wizard on the table, and we have some wizards. We've got Snapcaster Mage 4 of, and Tamiyo, also a 4 of. So 8 wizards in the deck, and this ability, let's read it. Target player draws 2 cards, or destroy target artifact, or Flame of Anor deals 5 damage to target creature. So this, you can get 2 of the abilities if you have a wizard. You only get 1 otherwise. But even drawing 2 cards for 3 mana is not that bad, and this can, in a pinch, get rid of some problematic artifact or kill like a Troll of Khazad-dûm. Lots of 5 toughness creatures that are relevant in the meta right now. And the way this deck wins is it just establishes control. We've got the 4 plows. We've got the 2 prismatic endings. We've got the aforementioned 4 Flame of Anor. So we can control the board pretty well. Then we have some utility cards dressed down. I am very excited to be trying Archmage's Charm. I've never played this before, but it's 3 mana, counter target spell, or target player draws 2 cards. Very relevant against like Doomsday and stuff. Or gain control of target non-land permanent with mana value 1 or less. So you could potentially gank your opponent's Tamiyo, which would be insane and hilarious. So I'm excited about the prospect of doing that. And we also have, of course, 4th Aerolingus, the all-star Jeskai end move, the Fireball of Doom that also gives you a whole lot of draw triggers over the next few turns if you can hold the Monarch. Pretty powerful. And, of course, we have a lot of cantrips in here. And this is a pretty cool touch. This deck, by the way, is based heavily off of a deck that Punishing Waterfalls was playing the other day. And he was playing 4 Spell Pierces. 4. But this is so good if you think about it, because like any spell-based like go fast combo is going to be like having to jam into your Spell Pierces. They're probably not going to have the mana to ever pay for Spell Pierce, right? Until it's pretty mid-game, late game. So this should be a nice kind of force of will 5 through 8. 5 through 9, if you want to count this as a counter spell. Like, we've got a lot of counter magic. We've got a lot of removal. It should be a lot of fun. Mana base, very simple. No wastelands in this one, unfortunately, but we do have double surveil lands, and we have a Mystic Sanctuary to run back whatever the most powerful spell is. Maybe Lauren Revealed to draw 3 cards. Seems pretty good. We've got 9 fetches. We have 4 basics, including a basic plains, a basic mountain, and 2 basic islands. So if you want to count, that's only 2 lands in the deck that don't cast blue, which is good because you really do need blue for Archmage's Charm and a lot of Snapcaster goodness. The sideboard, we have a Wrath of the Skies for painter matchups, for any sort of stomping matchups that puts a lot of constructs into play. We have 3 consigns. We have a Hydroblast. We have a Force for degenerate stuff. We have 2 surgicals as graveyard, and these are really good because you can snap them back for and just pay the life. You don't even have to pay mana, so it turns on your Snapcaster even at 2 mana, which is good. We've got 2 Pyroblast and a Red Elemental Blast. We've got Magus of the Moon, who is also a wizard and can lock our opponents out of the game, especially Eldrazi. We've got a Ghost Vacuum because we will make it to 6 mana, and we will be putting Archon of Cruelty into play. Thank you. I'm very much looking forward to hopefully doing that if we face Reanimator. I've also got a 2nd Soul Guide Lantern, not as good as Nile Spellbomb, but available in any color, and we've got an Null Rod. As always, we're going to play a full league of 5 matches. It should be a lot of fun. The league starts now. Leave a comment with a timestamp if you have any feedback on my play. I'd love to tighten up and play even better. And I'm sure everybody else who's reading the comments would as well. See you in round 1. Round 1, we're up against a combo gamer, frequent enjoyer of Karnforge. I think we keep this. We have Artifact Destruction here. It takes a while to get it online. Archmage Charm is a pretty easy pitch to force. I like the spread of mana. I like the Snapcaster. Yeah, let's hope to hold the fort here. Archmage's Charm might not be the pitch. We might want to pitch a Flame of Anor because we can steal a construct. Lava Spur Boots, that's fine. We are going to need to figure out an answer to these constructs pretty quickly if they have the follow-up Ancient Tomb that Urza Saga's players always seem to have. Okay, so we can just surveil here. We're probably not casting anything. And we're just trying to ramp to 3 mana so we can start Archmaging. And we might even play out the Snapcaster in step just to do something here. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and fetch the blue one, or the white one, I guess. White is like I mean, Flame of Anor is the only red card in the deck, really. I think we keep that. Yeah, I'm going to keep it. Okay, so we could definitely die to constructs. Taking a construct isn't necessarily enough here. It is worth noting that Flame of Anor can potentially kill a construct and can also kill an artifact. Like it can deal damage and it can, yeah. So here we go. We're going to get hit for a lot here, unfortunately, because they're going to Lava Spur Boots one of them. That's fine. This really sucks. We're about to take a lot. We'll see what they get here. Mox Opal. Okay, so these are 4/4, and this is going to be 5/5. Yep. Sadly, Flame of Anor is not going to be able to do the trick where we hit the other one. Okay, they've got another one. That's bad news. So I am going to play with the Snapcaster, just targeting nothing, just so I can get the double trigger, the double ability. So we're taking 9. That's a lot of damage. They still haven't, I mean, you could argue that I should have forced the Lava Spur Boots. Maybe I should have. That might actually be like a consequential decision. I don't usually make it a habit of forcing my opponent's Urza Saga targets. Mystic Sanctuary can potentially buy back for Flame. I think we probably hit the Lava Spur and we blow up one of the constructs. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. I'm trying to think if there's any reason to wait until their turn. I can't think of one. They just really came out of the gate swinging here. I mean, if we're not going to block, we could just swing in. We're definitely going to take some amount next turn. Yeah, I'm gonna attack. This does take a chunk off the Urza Saga clock a little bit. They're probably like, why the hell are you attacking? What is wrong with you? You needed for block next turn to not die. Okay. They're going ahead and making a construct. I think we blow up the Lava Spur and then they can only attack with 1. No, I want them to invest the mana in moving this. Yeah, I don't think that's dangerous to do. Okay, and now we can do it. Because now they have to pay to move it back. Oh, wait, actually, we let this happen, so then this is no longer... Well, it won't be equipped anyway, because this is going to be dead. Okay, sorry. Just having a little bit of a brain fart here. Flame of... Oh, we need blue. Flame of Anor. Anor. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Destroy target artifact. Deal 5 damage. Okay. So we're going to... deal 5 damage to this, and we're going to kill the Lava Spur Boots. Oh, wait. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so first ability. Okay, destroy target artifact. This one. And now we're going to deal 5 damage to this. Okay, they're forcing. Interesting. They have force in their deck. Well, I'm going to force back, and I'm going to just pitch this Archmage Charm. Do we have the luxury of... Interesting. They exile the force with force. Yeah, I can't survive. I can't risk. I mean, Archmage Charm would be really fun, but if they have another force, yeah. Okay, they can attack us for 3 now. I'm feeling a lot better. We can buy back the flame, and then we can use it again. And this time we can hit maybe their Mox and blow up one of their guys. I think flame is good here. Oh, 4th is good too. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put flame on top. Okay, and we can actually just kill 2 of these. I think it's fine. If we attack and they don't block, then we might be able to kill this one too, but they can still make another one. Maybe I shouldn't get so fancy here, but I do feel like we should just blow these both up and attack. I'm going to attack first and see what they do. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to red. Yeah. I'm going to cast this. I'm going to destroy target artifact and deal 5 damage. What I'll do is I'll destroy this and I'll deal 5 to this. And then that is going to die in combat, which is fine. You could argue that I should have held that back because now they're going to have a construct and Yeah, and you could also argue that I shouldn't put the Flame of Anor on top. Okay, so they are creating a creature on the way out. It's going to be a 2/2. Flame does pitch to force, though, so it's not the worst, even though I decided to take that line. I just wanted to get rid of every single construct and their Mox. They can go get another Mox, though, so maybe this wasn't a good play, because they... maybe if they play more than one Mox, they can just get another Mox. Oh, they got a Bobble, which is good for us. Okay, so now this is buffed a little bit. Okay, it looks like they're passing, so I'm going to be very likely to force whatever they put on the stack next. Okay, they're just looking at my Flame of Anor that they know is there. That's fine. Okay, and I think we just make 4th Aerolingus tokens and we attack. Something weird is happening with MTGO. Please don't crash. I need my clock. Oh wait, they just gave me the game. Okay, great. I think they were afraid because I could have blown up their land and they would have been really screwed. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but okay. That felt good. Beating, I mean, Flame of Anor, very powerful Magic the Gathering card, being able to 2-for-1 your opponent. Okay, so what comes in here? I think we could argue that Force of Negation should come in. Wrath of the Skies most definitely comes in. They do have blue cards in their deck. Magus of the Moon just nukes. Urza Saga, is it worth playing? Maybe. Null Rod seems good. I suspect they have lots of artifacts in their deck. They did show me artifact lands. Consign seems good. What cards do we not care too much for? Dress Down is really good. Spell Pierce. Do we want Spell Pierce? Part of me says no because we're on the draw. And that's an easy cut. Soul Guide doesn't do anything here, really. We could cut a land since they're unlikely to... Yeah, we could just cut a mountain. I don't think they're going to go after our lands. And then we need one more cut. Archmage's Charm can potentially steal, like, problematic permanents. It can steal constructs. It can do other stuff like that. I don't really want to go down on Plow because it is a way to survive. Maybe we go down on 4th since we're cutting a land. Yeah, I mean, they conceded without even us showing them a win con. They didn't know that we had a win con, so maybe we can just beat them into submission. Also, Wrath of the Skies is worse with 4th because you don't want to blow up your dudes. Yeah, I think we run it like this. And we're looking for a hand that has no Rod, Consign, Wrath, these sideboard bullets we boarded in. Magus of the Moon seems good because I think I'd be surprised if they play any basic islands. They might play 1 or 2, but being able to lock them off a color seems really legit. This is a solid keep. I don't like this Sanctuary, but we have Tamiyo. Yeah, I think I'll just, if they don't cast something, I'll just Surveil and I'll Tamiyo on like turn 2. Okay, they are pedaling. This is good for us because I like them. Oh, yeah, we can just plow this and they will get no value from it. Okay, so I'm going to show their graveyard here. Opal's in. Okay. So with the Shadow Spear and the Bobble, we definitely do need to just plow. We don't really have the luxury of waiting. Please be a land. Okay, that's good. It's not great. Yeah, I'm just going to plow now. They're down to 3 cards. They could just untap and slam something crazy, but I don't want to risk them getting card advantage. It's not really risking. Like, I don't want to let them get card advantage. Okay. So I'm glad I kept my plows in. I definitely could bring in Pyroblast. I don't think I brought those in, but seeing Tamiyo and seeing Metallic Rebuke, it makes me want to. Okay, this is fine. We can race this, but this is going to be potentially a problem. So the best draw in the deck is 100% a land, so we can shuffle away the Sanctuary. All right, let's go. We could flip this, but I need to put back the Sanctuary. I'm not going to blow my... Yeah, so let's hope they don't force this. Okay, great. Yeah, Dress Down's really good. Really, really good. Okay, so I'm going to put this back. And Flame of Anor is just nuts against their deck. I can't see a world where it's correct to put that back. But we do want to force... Tamiyo is a wizard. Gosh, it's tempting to just play out Tamiyo this turn and then hope that we rip a land. We can Surveil. No, we can't Surveil to find a land. Worst case scenario, we can just do this and we can Dress Down. I think that's probably fine. I think we put back... Gosh, it's so hard to decide. I mean, I hate to say it, but I think I put back Consign here. Because Flame, we're going to be up to Flame mana soon, and it deals with 2 permanents instead of just stopping 1. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to get our Volk, and we're going to drop a Tom. Drop the Tom. Sorry, I'll quit calling her that. That is weird. I'm just thinking out loud. Okay. I feel good having this force online. They are not going to expect Dress Down. I will happily force to protect Dress Down. I think that's the play here. They're going to invest some life in creating this. This does not buff the Patchwork. The Patchwork only gets buffed when they actually cast artifacts. Don't thought cast me. Thought Monitor. Well, I think I do need to force that. It's just so much value. We could pitch Lorien. If we pitch Lorien, then we don't have a path to a 3rd land. I'm going to be a coward. I'm just going to keep 1. Okay. That resolved. Their Patchwork is a 2/2 now. They can attack and I'll just block. Yeah, I don't think they have a way to like ping it or anything. This doesn't have unblockability. I could be wrong. They could punish me. All right. Now I'm kind of thinking that maybe I didn't need... Well, let's see if we get the land. Okay, if we get the land, we are unpunished. Okay, so options. I think the first thing we do is we just chill and we Dress Down when they make the construct. And then we mop up with Flame of Anor. Mopping up being killing this Mox probably. I do think we attack here. Yeah, I'm going to attack. And what I'll do is I'll get a Surveil land here. Yeah, I'm going to wait till their turn. The scariest thing they could do is counter this. If they counter this, it's going to be seriously destructive. I'm trying to think. Well, I do want to make sure that they don't needle me here. Let's go ahead and get Meticulous Archive here. Surveil. Consign is definitely an above average draw here. I'm going to put it on top. I'm trying to think if there's anything they could get that... I don't think there's anything they can get that right now is going to stop us from being able to do some serious damage. This is a blowout, folks. Don't have... Oh, yes. And this doesn't even trigger. And next turn, we can just Flame Anor, kill this, blow up the Lava Spur. That's... Oh, yeah, they are going to be able to use it. They can use it to return, like, probably a Bauble. They might return Shadow Spear. They might just attack. They are attacking. Okay. Unfortunately, that does make it so this has... Yeah, so we're going to draw a random card, and hopefully it's a land, and then we have the mana to pay the ward. We are at 12. Okay, options. I think we blow up the Lava Spur, and we hit this, but I think that... How does ward work? Whenever it becomes target of a spell or ability, so that happens immediately. So what we have to do is probably just blow up the Mox and... Oh yeah, this is bad. This is really bad. So what I think we need to do probably is just try to find a plow. Gosh, or some sort of like cheaper interaction. So I am going to go ahead and... I think Lorien Revealed guarantees we get a land, and then we can go ahead and dig for the plow from there. Yeah, I want to make sure we get a land. So I'm just going to go get another Tundra, I guess. There's nothing... Well, I mean, we can guarantee we get a plow, actually. Yeah, I'm just going to guarantee we get a plow for... Here we go. Plow goes on top. Now we can ponder. We can grab that. Oh, these are pretty good. We have a land lined up for next turn. 4th will be a good way to close the game later. Okay, now I'm just going to plow here. And I'm going to pay the ward. Okay, she's gone. I think we're okay attacking here. They can hit us for a lot next turn, potentially. We're tapped out of Consign. We just have to make it through these first few turns. I mean, there's an argument for keeping this back, but like they would definitely Lava Spur there and be able to hit her for lethal. Okay, 3 mana in the pool. There's the Thought Monitor that we can't stop. That's bad news. We're going to take a lot of damage here. Yeah, and if they're smart, they'll equip the Lava Spur to the Thought Monitor. Thoughtcast in addition. Wow. Yeah, they're just completely refilling their hand here. Now they've got another Saga to worry about. Oh, Lava Spur. So we're going to take 6 here. Oh, man. It's brutal. We're at 6. We do have a Plains on top. We can flame and pay the ward to kill this and blow up the Lava Spur. I think that's probably the play. No, this is ward 2. Yeah, so we can blow up the Lava Spur. We can kill that. We can maybe keep this up, not attack. I think that's what we had to do. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go white, red, blue, flame, and destroy target artifact, and Flame of Anor deals 5 damage to target creature. Destroy target artifact. Boom. And I'll deal the damage to this. And now I'll just get ready to pay the ward, and we're not going to have consign up again just because of the amount of pressure they're putting us under. Oh no, they have a Hydroblast. That is atrocious. All right, game over. Well, there's no way we're coming back from that. Okay, let's go to game 3. We've got 11 minutes on the clock. I do suspect that this is a favorable matchup with the sheer volume of artifact disruption we have and the fact that we have a dress down in our deck and everything. I just feel so choked on mana. I'm definitely taking out Archmage Charm. I'm bringing in the Blast for sure. I underestimated the extent to which they were blue. I think Magus of the Moon still plays. Archmage Charm just seems way too expensive. I think that's really for control decks. I mean, Consign was frustrating. Very frustrating to try to like have mana up for Consign when you're under the gun from Urza Saga. I think we dropped the Consign Force for sure. Force Negation. I still like Null Rod. I think all these cards are fine. This is main deck. I mean, we could cut this and just win with Snapcaster. That seems not that great. I think they're likely to resign. And, I mean, we've got 5 win cons. I just don't think this is good. They've got lots of evasive beats and stuff. They've got, like, tramplers and stuff. I just can't imagine a situation where putting that into play or casting that is good for us unless we've already completely locked down the game. So, yeah, we're going to go with that. So, again, 4 Snapcasters and a Magus to close the game. I think that will be enough. We just have to play quickly in case they do make us play it out. But like the rate at which they conceded the first game makes me, and they're way up on time. So a lot of people just like, they're like, I'm not be excellent. I don't have just tons of time. I'm just going to concede and move on with my life. Oh, wow. We have Consign and Plow up potentially, but we do need to find land. We have Brainstorm next turn to find land. I think this is a keep. This is just too many good cards, too many sideboard cards and a Force. They're mulling to 6. That's good. They can rebuild very quickly, as we saw, like drawing 4 cards in a turn and getting like, you know, a hasty 3/2 whatever it's called, ward guy out. Okay, please cast something I can counter. I am going to counter this. Yeah, I'm just going to counter it. Because it will grow pretty quickly. I mean, for all we know, they may just dump their hand. We are going to need to get us planes later. But for now, well, do we want to get an island here and just... I think actually I'm just going to get the island because we are going to need to get our basics at some point if we want to cast this Magus. Okay, countered. And they're passing. That's great for us. This land will go away. Oh, land. Yeah. I think I'm just going to hold up Brainstorm. Yeah, we'll see what they do here, but we're not in a big hurry. The legend rolled out land. That is good for us. You know, I can just Brainstorm in response. That might be why they're holding so much stuff in hand. Oh, okay, good. So we do have basic lands. I think we need to Force to protect Magus. I do think it'll be good. So this will get plains. And we'll need the Valk. We don't need... Maybe we do want to have a second island. I don't think it's a big deal. Yeah, I think I'm going to let this resolve. And I'm just going to fight over something else. if they just dump like tons of 0-drops and this becomes like this crazy threat, that's unfortunate for us, but we're about to, especially if they play another land, like an Urza Saga. Okay, please play out a land. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We are about to experience Nirvana. No plays. You love to see it. All right, we're going to go get our planes here. And we're going to hope their hand isn't like, well, it can't even be Metallic Rebuke. I think this just probably just wins. They get to draw a card. They could have double force. Let's draw a random card off the top. Tundra. Tragically, just a mountain here, but it'll be totally worth it. That feels so good. So good. I've never done that before. I'm not a Blood Moon gamer. I think I've done that with like Harbinger of the Seas, maybe. Yeah, this is fine. We're going to plow this. We'll pay the ward and everything. We'll just get it off the table and start attacking them. They do have colored mana again. That's fine. They're down to 3 cards. All right. So, no reason to play out the Tundra. I'm just going to start by plowing here. I want to make sure I have resources. We'll wait till the actual ward trigger kicks in. Ward. Okay, we'll pay the ward. Yes. And I'll force to protect this because this is like the only thing you've got going on. Okay, so it's 2 triggers. So I can force one of them. I think, sadly, we do pay it. Maybe we let this go and we just attack them and then we dig for another answer to this. We have lots of answers in our deck. Yeah, I think I just let this go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and attack them because this is definitely never going to be blocking anything with the power that it represents. We've already made our land drop. I think it makes sense to hold off and keep up force just in case of an absolute catastrophic card from them. Okay, just another mountain. We're taking 3 here. I'm going to have faith that our deck will deliver stuff that will help us get rid of this. Okay. Ponder. I think I'm going to brainstorm. Okay, not great. We can go get a land to shuffle this. I think that's fine. I'll go ahead and use... Yeah, I'll use my red source to do this. Go get an island. And then I think I'm going to ponder. Get something out of our deck. It doesn't really matter. It's just a mountain. Mountain. I think we need to wait another turn cycle, sadly. Because we need to make sure we have force up. And I don't want to... They could have Dismember. That would be pretty bad. Yeah, I want to make sure we have like land drops and stuff. And I don't want to get... if they are somehow able to cast... I don't think there's a way they can cast whatever it's called, Metallic Rebuke. But we're not going to be able to take care of this until we have a lot of mana. Okay, that's an extra mana, and that is a trigger on this patchwork. I'm going to be really embarrassed if this patchwork goes all the way. They now do have the card up, Metallic Rebuke. We've shuffled, so we're drawing wild. Looking for one of many cards. That's one of them. All right, I'm going to play this out, and we're going to flame. Flame on. Let's go ahead and pay this ward. Hopefully they don't force. And I think with that, the game is over if this resolves. And okay, they're going to rebuke us. Hydroblast. Well, this is going to be a force. 2 cards. We got Consign up. Let's go to combat. They have 1 card in hand. I don't see how I lose from here. This is playing out precisely as I hoped it would, with them not really being able to do anything and us just beating them down. What a freaking match to start off the league. This feels great. Another flame. Well, sign me up. Let's go ahead and swing. I'm just going to hold it up. I've got like Consign with multiple triggers. I'll wait till they put something out so we can use both modes. Force. We now have that hard cast up. Magus is a very good card. If we had Harbinger of the Sea, it would not be nearly as good. The Spell Bomb, I'm just going to consign it, and I'm going to replicate it twice. Actually, yeah, I'll replicate it twice. Same targets, same targets. All right. Fluster that. They don't actually have blue to use it anyway. That's a great rip. Just further insulates us from them doing stuff later. And I'm just going to chill. Again, until we have... I mean, you could argue that I didn't even need to fluster to kill that because they didn't have blue, and I could just blow it up. That's fine. Okay, you can see a random card from my hand. You know that I have a Force of Will. Okay, red Elemental Blast seems really good here. Let's pass. 3 more swings and they are dead. Just locked out by our control deck. And we're just not even using our mana, which is kind of sad, but... Okay, we did it. That felt great. That's a great start for our Wizards League. Again, shout out to Punishing Waterfall, who's been like experimenting around this archetype. I'm not running his exact 75. I made some changes, but in general, like definitely the 4 Spell Pierce is his tech, and I want to give him sufficient credit. I did not brew this on my own. Let's go to round 2. Round 2, we're up against a likely Delver opponent. I don't know that our Delver matchup is that bad, because we do have cards like Plow, and we do have basic lands. This hand is like barely keepable. If they are on Delver, this is an okay hand. I think I'm going to keep it and just hope that we get Red Source and that we draw some Wizards. This is a lot of Flame of Anor. I'm just going to open Island. I guess I'll open Plains. That might confuse them as to what our deck does. We're not going to plow anything with Days Up. We are definitely going to be disciplined because we don't want to die to an early DRC. Bloodstained Mire. Swamp. Is it blue-black? Dark Rit. Oh, please don't be on that freaking deck. Okay, Thoughtseize. Yeah, that's fine. They're going to take our Plow, almost certainly. They're probably going to laugh at the sheer volume of Flame of Anor we have. Oh no, this deck. Sorry, I didn't mean to be so loud. Oh my goodness. Just to lose turn 1 to lose. This is so bad. Yeah, they're going to have the Reanimate, and we are going to weep. I'm trying to think of, like, this is the classic, like, okay, ban and Tomb. Like, I've been going through this for years. Like, I've always thought this was just, like, a really unfun, busted start. Yeah, Archonic Cruelty. I mean, we could just draw a Plow. But, yeah, well, you can get rid of the Flame, I guess. All right, and they got rid of our Plow and everything. My goodness. We could just draw another Plow. We could draw a Ponder into a Plow. They don't have Days Up. Brainstorm. I'm going to just... I have nary the luxury of time. Force. I'm going to hang on for 1 turn, because if we do find Plow, we might be able to dig out of this. I'll just discard 4th. I will keep... I'm going to definitely discard 4th, and I don't want to pitch Ponder. So I guess I can put Ponder back. But I do want to have a Force in case they have a follow-up. All right. Yeah, it's just such a powerful start. And they're going to be back up to like 6 cards by the end of the turn. Thoughtseize again. I'm just going to... Can I win? I can let them take 1, because I am going to flip the Ponder. Yeah, that's fine. Do some more damage to yourself. It's all right. You're going to gain the life back. Yeah, so we're going to go down to basically the only sequence of draws that gets us out of this is us drawing into and Flooded Strand. I don't think I discard Flooded Strand. I think I discard Force here. No, I'll discard 4th. That was my original plan. Let's see if they have any more busted stuff they want to do here. Okay, so we'll lose 9 life. We're at 8. That's how math works. Okay, and they don't seem to be playing blue at all because they fetched a Badlands, which is good. I think the blue-black version, which is less all... You're much more likely to get this on the black version or the black splash red for just a couple cards. I'd be really stunned if they brought in, considering our opening, I'd be stunned if they brought in Mega Saloon. Faithless Looting, yep. Just put some more goodies in your graveyard to reanimate. It always disappoints me when like somebody's playing like Delver or they're playing like Death and Taxes or they're playing some like fun interactive deck and they just like switch to like the most broken thing imaginable, which is basically this. Okay. Volgoroth, we can't beat that. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and ponder, and then we're going to hope that they don't. I guess I should play this out. Yeah. I don't think there's anything they can do. Ponder, do we find a plow? Shuffle, do we find a plow? Nope. We do find a Snapcaster, but it's too late. We're dead next turn. And Volgavoth, there's no way we're stopping that. Okay. So we do have some cards for this matchup. Ghost Vacuum is pretty good. Hydroblast does stop the thing. Force is probably necessary, sadly. Double Surgical. And another Soul Guide Lantern, bringing the total to 2 in our deck. Cards that come out. Prismatic Ending doesn't do anything against their deck. Believe me, I've tried. Fourth Air Lingus does close the game. Archmage's Charm, not a great card here. They don't have any 1-drops to target. Drawing a card or countering a spell for 3 minutes, not particularly compelling. Shutting off stuff with Dress Down actually might be relevant in a weird way. Like if they get Volgavoth out, we can get around the... If they get Volgavoth out, are we going to survive? No. I think we could probably cut it. I think we can cut a land. I'm going to cut the mountain. Definitely don't want to rip that. This is like, we're very blue-white. I think we can cut a 4th. We've got the Pierces in. We've got Flames, which is our combo. I'm not going to take that out. In terms of winning, Ghost Vacuum does become a win con after we've exiled one of their fatties. We just have to wait until we draw land. Yeah, I think we run it like this. So we're on the play this turn, which means that we won't get turn 0. Or actually, were we on the play last time? We just didn't know what we were up against. Knowing what you're up against is half the battle. Knowing is half the battle, as G.I. Joe says, right? Okay, so this is just a, Soul Guide, and hope they probably don't have an answer to Soul Guide. It'll get through one of their reanimation spells. And then we've got Plow, which we can snap back. We probably could have trimmed on Plows. Let's keep this. I'll keep anything that has some graveyard interaction. And because it's a permanent, it can't be Thoughtseize, which is important. I think we can just get a Tundra here. I'm not going to bother playing on basics because I don't think it's likely that they're going to actually be able to do anything. Soul Guide comes in, it takes out our Flooded Strand, and we pass. I mean, this card might be good enough. It's going to counter maybe an Entomb. It's going to counter whatever their enabler is, and it's going to counter the actual reanimation effect. Unmask. Wow. You're paying a high price. That's fine. They may have like some sort of creature beatdown, in which case they might take swords. Flame of Anor with Snapcaster is good though. If they take swords, then I can snap it back. Yeah, that does make sense. Okay, and they're just passing. So we have the illusion of time. Oh, we already won because this one card. No, we're going to lose if we don't be proactive here. Surgical is a great follow-up card. I'm going to go ahead and just get this archive out of my hand. Love to find another wizard. I don't need another plow. So now they may expend great effort trying to get rid of, getting us to crack this, and we had the follow-up. And because they're not playing blue, to our knowledge, they're not playing blue. They're going to need to expend even more resources. So all we can do is stall. Inevitably, they will eventually put together a win, unless we get something like Ghost Vacuum out. That will keep them in check indefinitely. Our opponent binned an Entomb. This tells me maybe they're going to go like a Douthie Voidwalker plan. That is a card that a lot of these blue-black decks will play as kind of like a threat. Grief used to be all you needed. These decks have been severely weakened by the banning of Grief, which is very much a good thing. Like I used to enjoy playing blue-black Grief tempo. I never played Grief Reanimator because I always felt it was unfair and not very fun. But yeah, like I do not miss that card. Okay, Snapcaster. This is good. So I'm just going to play this land out. We've got a Surveil trigger, and we've got lots of things. Like if they do, for some reason, attempt to moon us, we have Plow. I just love for them to do something so we can snap something back. Being able to snap back Surgical is good. Faithless Looting's fine. Sadly, this Flame of Anor just doesn't do a lot, even if we get it turned on. Even if we meet the wizard criterion, I guess it's only one criterion that you must have a wizard. One cool thing is, like, once you've cast this, even if they remove your wizard, you still get both modes. It's like a cast trigger. For once a cast trigger that's not on Eldrazi being deleterious to our game plan. Not sure what the heck is happening in that picture. It looks like he's like bouncing off one of those jump pads from Quake or something. He's probably got a rocket launcher strapped to his back, and he's going to like mow some people down from space. I will give our opponent credit. Like, they're really tanking on this Faithless Looting. So they may have two threats, and what they may do is they may try to like burn a threat or put like to try to trick us into cracking this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to surgical, and then I'm going to snap back once I know the contents of their hand. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll see what they do. Okay, we've got movement there. Ritualing. This is fine. Hopefully they do like a big play that expends much of their hand. I think we just give them the Faustian bargain of, do you want to take the Snapcaster or do you want to take the surgical? They're not going to be able to get through this turn. I think they take the Snapcaster again. They could even reanimate the Snapcaster later from my graveyard. And then flashback reanimate again. That is one powerful thing you can do. If they don't do anything, I probably will just go ahead and like, I mean, I could just burn this Flame of Anor if they don't put a target on the stack, because they're going to not have very many cards left after they finish what they're doing here. And I do want to get some momentum. I do want to find my next land drop, and I also want to draw into, you know, like probably like a Tamiyo would be really good here, because she can accumulate advantage over multiple turns. Okay, they did take my snap. Reanimate targeting my snap. So I think this is, I just surgical that snap. The main problem with this is it gives them the ability to do something. I'm not sure what they're going to do with that last mana. They could snap back Thoughtseize. And if they snap back Thoughtseize, they most likely just take my... Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'll just pay life, and I'll target my own Snapcaster. This is I'm just going to exile that one that they were targeting. And I just want to make sure that the reanimate is no longer targeting anything. Okay. Okay. I am done. What do you want to do with that last mana there? Okay. It looks like it's burning off, which is great. I think I can just chill for a turn and get my Surveil land here. I do want another land, but I'd rather draw into good stuff. Yeah. Okay. Spell Pierce is great. Spell Pierce is phenomenal. So we'll see what they do, but we're probably going to pierce pretty much anything they do here. Animate Dead targeting my Mage. I think it's fine to just counter this, because they could have a land drop. That would be the nightmare scenario is like, oh, you thought that was innocuous, but now I'm going to target my, you know, Reanimate, or I'm going to target my Entomb or something. I'm not sure. All right. We'll play the land, and we can go put Surgical back on top of our deck if we want to at the end step, and then we can flame. And we can even do that if in response to them doing something crazy. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go get another Surgical and just put them on watch, on notice. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead and flame. Because again, it doesn't matter when we do this. They're not going to have multiple targets at any one point, I don't think. So I'll draw 2 cards. Okay, we got a Tamiyo, which is precisely what I was looking for here. I think we can go ahead and play out the land now. Well, I'll hold it. It's not a big deal. Just to present more of a menacing kind of thing. I don't know. You could argue that we don't need to worry about brainstorming this back with how far ahead we are, and that we will be using the mana later. But it's not like I have a single 4th in the deck that I'm drawing to. Okay, Lorien Revealed's good. I think we attack and then we probably Lorien Revealed. And then we just flip her as well. They do have blue. I didn't notice that until a second ago for some reason, because I was just being inattentive. I don't think they're likely to daze this. Okay. She flips. We've got tons of action in hand. I'm going to plus her. Next turn, we can buy back maybe a Spell Pierce, depending on what the situation calls for. Reanimate on Surgical is irritating if they do that. Or I'm sorry, Reanimate on Snapcaster Mage. Like I would have to get that out of my graveyard. I guess I could have gotten both. I should have gotten both out of my graveyard. That was a misplay when I didn't get both of them because they still have something they can target now. Okay. I think I'm going to start by just pondering here. Maybe I'll brainstorm because I might be able to shuffle away this other Tamiyo. Double Tamiyo. Yeah, I'm going to put those away. I'm just going to play this out. I think they'll probably concede pretty soon. Like, I don't know how they're planning to beat these. I'm just going to hit my own Snapcaster now. Okay, and then I guess I can just buy back my Spell Pierce here. Just to further cement. And then we're just going to take our time. We have plenty of time on the clock. I will ponder here to shuffle these. Snapcaster is a good card. I don't need it. I'm going to try to find fourth and close this game. Force is great. We can draw and step with the clue. We are in zero danger of losing this game, I think. Yeah, that's fine. But our opponent is getting to see a lot more of our strategy this way. Okay, Archon of Cruelty going into the graveyard. There's no way I will ever let that come into play. I'll just Surgical it. The reason I'll Surgical... I mean, I could just Spell Pierce this. It's fine with me. You don't need to see our hand. I want to be clear that like I'm not like playing with my food here. Like I do think it's reasonable to play carefully here. I'm getting some spinner activity, but my opponent soldiers on. Okay, let's draw. Wild one off the top. Another Tarn, which I am going to play out. I'm going to plus. I do think I'm going to Brainstorm here. And if I can find fourth, I'll just do it. I've got plenty of free interaction up. Okay. I don't think I took up both fourths. Did I? I may have. Okay. Well, I'm going to put this back. And I'll put the plow back because they're never going to have anything interplay. And we will pass. With Hardcast Force up, plus Spell Pierce, plus double Surgical, plus double Soul Gads. It's fine. Show and Tell is a way that they could get through, but they would need so much to get through. Okay, they're discarding another Archon of Cruelty. Right, and end step, we'll just draw a card. Okay, I was supposed to fetch... so I drew a card that I already knew was there. That was bad. Okay, they conceded. They had enough. Wow. We definitely hated them out that game, and I would love to do that again. I think with them conceding, with us attaining that level of dominance, I do take out the fourth, and maybe I do bring it back in the Archmage Charm just because it's a blue card that pitches to force, and it can potentially, yet another thing that can counter a spell later. I don't think this matters. I think we can beat them down with a single Snapcaster, and we have plenty of time. They're actually way lower on time than we are. The other argument would be bringing in the Mountain just to have more mana, but I think we'll find our mana okay. Yeah, I'm going to do it like this. And you could argue that like, these plows could be better cards. I think that it's okay, though, because if they do get something out, it is nice to be able to answer it, and it is possible, like even though we didn't see it, that they could have like a pivot where they use creatures to beat us. This is a pretty decent hand. Turn 0 interaction. It's only 1 point of turn 0 interaction, but I think with the Snapcaster, we keep it because we can potentially Surgical their first threat and then snap back to Surgical their other threat. If they open Thoughtseize, they're going to have to choose between these two unless they can kill us next turn. There's the Thoughtseize. I think they're going to take the snap. But if they take the Surgical, that will mean that we're probably in the danger zone and we're going to need to absolutely find a force off of Ponder. Okay, they took the Surgical. That's scary. Archmage's Charm. So we're not going to be able to Ponder into Spell Pierce. It has to be one of our forces or our other Surgical. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for it. And I'll just keep the fetch up for later because we may want to fetch away one of these cards. Okay, Force and Surgical. Well, I think we just take the surgical. If they have another Thoughtseize, they can win. But if we get through this turn cycle, I think we're okay. And they're going to know that we found something because we didn't shuffle. They're fetching. Surveilling. Main phase surveil tells me that they're probably not going for it this turn. Wait. They surveilled. Okay, so they're going to Thoughtseize this again. And I don't think they have the mana to win now because we have Snapcaster next turn and we're going to draw a force. They don't know that we're going to draw a force. They may take the Snapcaster this time. Yeah, they do. Okay. All right. Drawing our force. And do we want this Tamiyo? We probably want more interaction. Tamiyo is a path to... Yeah, let's think about it because we might want to surveil and step. But I'm happy to have both force and surgical up. I think it's quite likely that they go for our Snapcaster here. Okay, 3 mana. Please. Oh, they're unmasking me. Okay, well, they're not going to be able to take both forms of interaction. Yeah, and if they have show and tell, we're screwed. But you don't force unmask. What do they exile? They exile the Dark Rit. They're down to 2 cards. If they have show and tell and threat as their last 2 cards, that's the game. Otherwise, I think we're going to be able to gradually get back into this. I am kind of thinking of keeping the Tamiyo here unless, well, no, we probably do need to draw into more interaction. We'll see whether we're dead. Okay, they took the surgical. Animate dead targeting our Snapcaster. They can use this, the Thoughtseize us, and then they'll have a creature in play. How bad is them Thoughtseizing us? I think I let them do this, and I just let them Thoughtseize if they want to use their... Yep, they're just Thoughtseizing us. So I am going to let this resolve, and they can take our force. They've done a good job of shredding. They're cracking the bubble. That's fine. Using our own Snapcaster against us in both of these post-war games. If they don't take force, they're crazy. I've got a lot of cards I'm digging to. They may have taken the surgicals out of my deck, but what? They took that? Okay. So they have 1 card in hand. They have no reanimatable threats. I do think it's okay to get Tamiyo online here. We have force up. Yeah, I'm gonna get Tamiyo online, and then I will have a clue next turn, and I can surveil this turn. Yeah, and if they have another Thoughtseize followed by like a sequence of draws, there's not a lot we can do about that. But I do think that we're in a situation where we want to pull ahead. We're drawing to a lot of good cards, and Tamiyo giving us an extra draw every turn is going to be impactful. All right, so let's go ahead and surveil here. We have a blue-red already, so we'll get the Meticulous Archive. I don't think this is good. I think we need action. Soul Guide is great. I'm going to go ahead and start by attacking, and then I'm going to cast Soul Guide, and I think that will probably lock the game. Entomb. Oh, yes, please. By all means. This is so good. I don't know why they're timing it here. Do they have like some instant speed reanimation thing? I've got a force. There's no split-second reanimate effect, thank goodness. Yeah, they're burning this Entomb, and then I'm just going to hit whatever they get with Soul Guide. It's going to be crushing for them, I think. Unless I'm like completely misunderstanding the situation. Okay. All right. Soul Guide. Is this cool? We would like to hit your Atraxa. And you can contemplate the timing of that play. All right, the clocks have stopped. I think that's it. Oh, wow, we're 2-0. See you in round 3. Round 3, we're up against one of my favorite Indian dishes, masala chicken. And they're likely on Dimir Reanimator, which is scary. I still think it's probably the best deck. This is Mulligan. We'll put back a Tamiyo. We'll probably have to fetch basics here. Let's see what they're likely to have. Okay, so 4 Troll, 1 Metamorphosis Fanatic. This is from like 2 days ago. 3 Bowmasters, which is scary. Brazen Borrower, 2 Borrowers, and then attracts an Archon as their top end, and they are playing 3 Animate Dead, so a total of 8 reanimation effects. So it's going to be kind of a rerun of last game, except it's going to be worse because their deck's going to have like tons of counter magic and stuff in it. I'm going to keep this, and I am going to put the Tamiyo back. And I think, how many Fatal Pushes are they playing? Are they playing any? No. They are not playing Fatal Push. That is wild. Well, I'm going to just open with... do I have the luxury of opening with a Tamiyo? I think I do. Yeah, because I want to get this online. Then next turn, we can ponder. Try to find a... Yeah, I'll just grab an island. They could be on a different deck. This hand is okay against other decks too. It's not like we went all in for this specific matchup, but I would love for them not to be on blue-black Reanimator because I'm just so tired of playing that after like more than a year now. Force is a great rip. I think I'm just going to come in with Tamiyo. There's not really a reason for me to not fire off this Ponder here. We got a lot of juiciness on top. I think I do want this Spell Pierce. 4th is not ready yet. Yeah, so we'll leave... we'll draw a Spell Pierce and we'll leave the Plow on top in case they take a creature approach instead of a reanimation approach. They entomb here. Oh, no entomb. Okay, good. This may not be Reanimator. Hope Springs Eternal. Okay, it doesn't look like it's Reanimator. That's great. Strix. I mean, we can blow this up and draw cards next turn. We will need a land. We could also just plow this and just keep pushing forward and give them their 2-for-1. I think that's probably fine. They may not be on tempo. They may be on straight Grixis control. One thing that is good, though, is that they try to interact with this. We've got counterplay. I'm going to go ahead and get the Tundra here, and then I'm just going to plow, and then I'm going to attack and keep stacking clues. If they don't do anything about this, then I probably will tap out just so I can get... No. I almost accidentally clicked the Tamiyo. I was like, oh no, please don't plow my own Tamiyo. That would be catastrophic. Okay. It was just like, I'm on a trackpad, and so you may notice that like the movement of my cursor, which is oversized because of my vision issues, which are not with my eyes, they're with my brain. Because of those, I use like a giant cursor. It's just easier to change. You can change it in either Mac or Windows. Okay, so the real question is, do we want to ponder now or do we want to hold up? I think we can hold a Spell Pierce if we just find a land. We found a land. Okay, so these are decent cards. Snapcaster is great. I do want the Valk now. Our opponent will see our true colors, but we have 2 forms of interaction up. If they have like a bolt with another land, then Spell Pierce isn't going to stop it. I'm not going to pitch Flame of Anor to protect her. This is the Thoughtseize. Well, I think we just let that resolve. If they're playing Baleful Strix, they're not on an unfair strategy. No unfair deck plays that. They probably take Flame. It is a 2-for-1. Oh, took Spell Pierce. Interesting. Lightning Bolt. I think we're fine with this. We've got Snapcaster on top. We've got our clues to crack. I think I'm just going to draw Snapcaster and... What was the other card? I'm trying to remember. Oh, it was another Tamiyo. Okay, well, we'll just chill. We'll chill and crack clues. Actually, I do want to crack a clue now because I can just play the Tamiyo. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Yep, Tamiyo's down. And we're going to keep cranking out clues. Thank you. Unless you want to force that. Black mana. What is this? Cling on our plow? Sure. Tells me they may have like a Baragoi for something coming. And they may just want to draw a card, make efficient use of their mana. There's another bolt. Sadly, this is a 1-for-1. I'm just going to take it. Another one. This is fine. We can kind of get a 2-for-1 with the Snapcaster later. Okay, best draw on the deck is a land. Or a Spell Pierce. Okay, land is fine. I think I'm just going to hold up Snapcaster with Spell Pierce and let them have a turn with the combat damage. This is not necessary. I think now that I have that land, I don't know, I just feel like less likely to be dazed. I don't even know if they're playing Daze in their Baleful Strix deck. If they do Baragoi for something, then I can Snapcaster. I can force in the Snapcaster the Spell Pierce. That's fine. This is going to be a long game. Like, we may very well go to time here. I'm just giving you the warning so you're not like super duper disappointed. My opponent is also taking like pretty deliberate amounts of time, but that's early. Like, they are likely to speed up. I'm not. I'm stuck in the slow lane here. All right. They're coming in for a hug, and I'm just going to pick up this clue. And I won't be able to fight over a Bowmaster if that's what they have. If they pass to end step, I'm not going to pass up the clue crack here. I'm gonna be efficient with my mana. Do they have Bowmaster? They do not. And we ripped another Spell Pierce. That's great. Okay. Fourth Aerolingus, not good against your opponent who has a Baleful Strix out. I think what we do is we just chill and we can snap Ponder. I think that's fine. And then we could find a land here. Snapcaster Mage. We have Spell Pierce if they try to like do anything that costs more than 1 mana here. Okay, so this is going to hit Ponder, and we are going to Ponder here. Just try to preserve our forward momentum. Here is a Bowmaster. Here is a force for your Bowmaster. I do not like Bowmaster ever. I don't want my Snapcaster killed. I don't want my Snapcaster killed. Please force back. Okay, that's the force. And this is the Spell Pierce. Even good against these creature decks. So whatever happens, we've done our best. They are brainstorming in response. If they force pitch, they'll be hellbent. And we will take a Bowmaster ping, but we do have Fourth Aerolingus, which again is not good against Bowmaster at all, actually. So, okay. Do they have another force? Okay, the force. All right. We stopped the Bowmaster. Flame of Anor is really good here. Mystic Sanctuary is fine. Do we want to draw the Mystic Sanctuary and play it now and put anything on top? I don't think so. I'm just going to... these are all good cards. They may have drawn another. I think Brainstorm is dangerous. Flame of Anor is pretty safe, though, because it's not that safe, actually. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do now is... Yeah, I'm just going to go like this. I'll take the Brainstorm now, I guess. I'd rather them Thoughtseize a Brainstorm out of my hand than Thoughtseize a Flame of Anor at this point. However, if they have another Bowmasters, we're in deep trouble. They have 5 mana now. Are they going to push? Bowmaster? Yep, they do have another Bowmaster, and we can't do anything. Yeah, so our next 2 turns are basically just not doing anything. We do have the option of just using Flame of Anor to hit the Bowmaster, which I don't think is too embarrassing. It's a 1-for-1. And then if they put another Bowmaster on the stack, we've got a Brainstorm. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for that. Let's do it now. Flame. Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing to do it this way, but I feel like we do want to Brainstorm here. And the odds of them having a Brainstorm or another Bowmaster as their last card is pretty low. If they do have it, then we probably just lose the game. All right, I can put Flame of Anor back on top with the card that I'm about to get here if they don't have another Bowmaster. Okay, they didn't have the Bowmaster. We have our own Flame of Anor on top, which is great. Or we could just shuffle away fourth. I think fourth, we're just not ready for it. As much as it might look like we're ready, is really an in-game card, and I'm really thinking it should just be a one-of. Yeah. Now I'm going to play this. I think it's unlikely that they play Opposition Agent. Yeah, let's just wait and get a little more information here. Okay. They got an island. They could definitely do some sort of moon type effect here, which I would be ready for. Narset. We need to get a prismatic ending somehow. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get a Surveil land here. They are outvaluing us for sure with their Brazen Borrowers and being able to get we got a few favorable trades, but we've long gone through our Kolaghan's Command. Yeah, that's the 2-for-1 potentially. It's not a great card. Well, actually, yeah, they can return something, so it is potentially a really great card. I think Thundering Falls is better because if we can find a Prismatic Ending, that's the best card in our deck right now. Force is not great. I'm just going to bin it. Okay, I think we go for this. Yep, I'm going to go all in. They are going to be able to take this back. That is okay. But I do want to hit Narset with 2. I'll hit 1 on Narset, and if I just throw them all at Narset, then I don't have to worry about creating the Monarch. That might actually be fine. We'll see if they interact. Okay. I think these are all going at Narset. I don't want to introduce the Monarch. So Kolaghan's Command can kill 1 and can potentially return a Bowmasters from graveyard. Narset's down. Yeah, because if we introduce the Monarch, they've got Bowmasters and they can get it back with Kolaghan's Command. They can waste one of these guys. It's going to be messy. We can always buy this back and do a bigger one in a turn or two if we find a land. This is way better. I said that Prismatic Ending was the best draw in our deck, but this was way better than Prismatic Ending. Kolaghan's Command. Sure. Yeah, they're getting the Bowmasters just like I predicted. They're going to do 2 damage, kill one of our creatures. Oh, they're going to make us discard our Flame of Anor. That's fine. This is actually really bad with Bowmasters out anyway, so joke's on you. Okay, they're holding back. Prismatic Ending. I think this is good. We hit the Strix. We give them a hard decision. But I am going to go ahead and attack. And they can buff, and they can poke, and they can potentially block one of them. But I am going to be on the aggro. I don't think it's correct to sit back. We don't have a lot of... I mean, we're drawing to a lot of different stuff. They are going to probably do this here. Yeah. Okay, you buff your army. Do you want to trade for 2 of these? That's the real question. It looks like they are going to do so. All right. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that trade for sure. All right, and they have 2 cards in hand. But we do have a lot of really good rips. They do too. Obviously, they've got Kolaghan's Command. They may even have Mystic Sanctuary to get Kolaghan's Command back. At which point, I would probably scoop just to preserve time because I don't think that we're going to overcome that much card advantage. Another Narset would also be pretty catastrophic. They may also just have Hardcast Force or something in hand. That would make sense why they're not doing anything here. Plow is just a meh card at this point, but it's not nothing. I'll take it. I think if they had Kaito, they would have played it and just stunned this and had it ready for the next turn. I do believe they have Kaito in their deck. Kolaghan's Command again. I think we scoop. Well, okay, we'll play through this. They're going to kill this. They're going to be able to get their, Bowmasters out, but... Oh, no, we have to discard? Yeah, this is rough. But I think we actually have some pretty good anti-red cards. Or no, with the Pyros in. They're going to have Pyros too, though, so it's kind of a wash. Who's favored? Postboard? Masala chicken. Man, making me hungry. I skipped lunch today because I wanted to get a league in before I went to the gym. But I need to eat some masala chicken. Maybe I'll track down a buffet in your honor. Masala chicken. Okay, this seems really good. Gain control of permanent 1 less. If they're playing Tamiyo, this is good. Doesn't seem bad. So these are coming in for sure. Hydroblast is coming in for sure. I think that this is actually one of the few matches where Wrath of the Skies is really worth bringing in. Is it? I mean, we can clear multiple potential creatures. It doesn't hit planeswalkers. I don't know. I think Flame of Anor is what are we going to cut here? We could just cut our forces. I mean, these are bad in the sense that they're card disadvantage. I think Prismatic Ending might be a good thing to cut because... So I think maybe we cut 2 Prismatic Endings and we cut 2 forces. And my reasoning is everything that they have generates value. So Prismatic Ending is just not going to move the needle. Same thing with swords. I mean, but we do need to be able to remove Barragoyfs if they have them. We do need to be able to remove, what's it called? Just Bowmasters itself. They're not going to go after our mana. So I think it's fine to take out the mountain. I mean, they could... I don't think they bring in Harbinger of the Sea, but they might bring in Magus of the Moon. I don't think that would be right, but they could do that. Then we could keep a Prismatic Ending. Ghost Vacuum is one of those things where, like, no, they can blow up artifacts. I don't think that comes in. I don't think we bring in any artifacts. I think actually I'm going to keep in a force as opposed to, because if we get ahead in cards, we need to be able to stop stuff. If we Tamiyo Ultimate, we're going to be really embarrassed if we don't draw any forces. Yeah. So let's talk about our plan. Our plan is to get a wizard to stick like a Tamiyo. I mean, Tamiyo is like the best card in our deck basically against them because we get it out and then it enables the flame and we just need to get up on cards. This does it. I think this is fine. Again, I don't expect them to disrupt our mana. Archmage's Charm, potentially really cool ability. I'm just going to start by pondering here and hope to find a Tamiyo and some more lands. That's another land. We don't need this, but Spell Pierce is quite good. So I'm going to put the Tarn in hand and we'll hold off on the Pierce. Because I don't want them to know if they Thoughtseize us that we have Pierce. All right. Interesting. They bin that, which makes me think that they have another one. So we're drawing Pierce. I mean, these fourths are really bad. I do want to shuffle them away. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. We're going to get a perfect Brainstorm here. Oh, yeah. We'll just put these away. These other cards are fine. Then we can chill and we can get a Spell Pierce if we need it, or we can just... And Archmage's Charm, sadly, is going to be the pitch to force here. I mean, this could take control of like a giant orc army, which would be cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to Pierce this. I'm trying to think of degenerate stuff they can do with one. I don't think they have really very many one mana cards at all in their deck. Probably another Thoughtseize. Okay, a Ponder. Yeah, that's fine. I don't know why. Like, something about Thoughtseize feels worse than Ponder. Like, you're taking my best card, whereas you're merely looking for your best cards. We don't actually have anything to do next turn, sadly, unless we draw land. I would love to just crack an Archmage Charm, end step, and draw 2 cards. I've never done that before. I've never actually even cast this spell before. The dream is to steal a flip Tamiyo, which I think I mentioned in the deck tech. That is an aspiration of mine. Wow. We're just chilling. We don't have anything going on, but we've got double Pierce. So I think we can get into a force fight over like a Bowmasters or some value thing. I'm not wild about it. Okay. They're not doing anything either, which means they probably do have Bowmasters. Can we draw a land, please? I know I cut a land and I don't deserve a land. Why is this still in my deck? I'm so dumb. Yeah. Sorry. I don't mean to be too harsh on myself, but I definitely should have cited that out. So just remind me from the future, send a telephone booth back. Say, don't forget to side, Ted, don't forget to side your soul guide lantern. Okay. We're going to hit their Strix is something they can bring back. It's not nothing. I'm just going to cycle through this and step if they don't do anything. Oh, are they going to Kolgon's Command with this ability on stack? That'd be impressive. I would pierce the heck out of that. Please. Please. Put it in my veins. Wait, they're attempting to destroy this? Interesting. Well, I just pierce and we keep it around. Yeah. And then I will force if they get into a force fight over this. I think it'd be silly to do so, but okay, yeah. And now we're free of the Strix. They're fetching some basics, which makes me think they may have Harbinger of the Sea in their deck. That's fine. They have a huge advantage over us in that they have 4 Orcish Bowmasters, and we have 0 Orcish Bowmasters. Basics ahoy. I'm going to have to fight over some back to basics here. I'm going to start fetching basics too, by the way. Oh, I don't have a mana to activate it. Never mind. False alarm. Okay, Sanctuary. We could just go ahead and crack this and see if we get a better land, because Sanctuary does do something next turn. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. Can't find a better land. There we go. Yes. Okay. So we've got a plan. Next turn, we can Archmage Charm, draw a bunch of cards, and Archmage Charm again. Do you have any in-step things you'd like to do? I will force that. Oh, no, I'm not going to force that. That's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I don't care about that. They get a card. You remember when I said I was going to start fetching basics? I lied. All right, let's get the Meticulous Archive here. I'm like 99% sure they don't have Wasteland in their deck. This is fine, actually. I'm fine with getting some more lands. Yeah, I think we can just hold up Archmage Charm just as a straight up like counterspell, and then we can draw if we need to, if they don't do anything interesting. If they tap out, and I don't think Bowmasters is likely. 3 mana. 4 mana. Oh, they're just going to cling. I think I could use this as a window to go ahead and Archmage. That's fine. And then I just feel like chilling with lots of interaction up. The draw 2 just it's not bad, but okay, this is fine. I just hope that they go all in on something and tap out. Like I played against this guy, Take Your Time, yesterday, and I was playing this deck and I lost miserably, by the way. That's why there won't be a video. I just got completely destroyed by Take Your Time, who is a somewhat legendary player of this deck. Oh man. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get an island. So I have a basic island. And then I'm just going to cast this. Oh, ooh. Ooh. We got action. You may resolve, and I will fight over the spell itself. Let's go ahead and plow here. Definitely want my lands. Thank you. That is a cool opposition agent, though. Okay. And now we get our fetch. And gosh, I am thinking about just going ahead and casting this Archmage Charm. It's pretty clunky. Yeah, let's get the island. And let's Archmage. And if they counter it, it's not that big a deal. They pyro it. Yeah, I'm going to draw 2 cards, and then I'll just Sanctuary it back. Oh, I have to target myself. I got 11 minutes on the clock. There we go. That's fine if you're going to pyro it. It was inevitable that you pyroed something. Okay, I'll just put it back on top, and we'll keep grinding. Flame. Yep, I'm going to put the Archmage Charm back on top, and I'll pass. We got Hardcast Force up. They don't play Daze, to my knowledge. They do have the ability to just keep going over our head. Whoa, what's this? Oh, this is the Waterlog teaching. Are they playing the exact James Kisao list? They may be. So I could Flame here just to draw. I think I'm going to hold it. But anyway, my little anecdote about the Take Your Time guy, he completely wrecked me, and it was all because he was patient. He just like made his land drops, and he literally took his time. And as a control mage, like who has been down the tempo rainbow, down the tempo waterfall, whatever the rabbit hole, that's the term. Yeah, as a tempo player who's gone down, or a control player who's gone down the tempo player rabbit hole, I've kind of forgotten how to take my time. So I am kind of tempted to just grab his list and play it and get some practice at taking my time here. So they have so much interaction. They've got Hardcast Force up. I am afraid, but I'm going to go for it. Just as I finish lecturing on taking time. Let's draw. Are you going to Bowmaster me? You are. Well, I can just let this happen. Or I can force. I can force Pitch Force. And then I've got Spell Pierce up. I do want to stop this from resolving. I could just... Flame of Anor does answer it, but Flame of Anor is really bad if it resolves, so I'm going to pitch Flame of Anor. Are they going to pyro it? Okay, we get the cards. No, we don't get the cards? They have another one? Well, guess what? I've got another one of these, and I will happily throw it away to stop your Bowmaster. I really don't like playing against Bowmaster with this deck. Okay, now do we get it? Or do you have a third one? Oh my goodness. We got the cards. Okay, they're good cards. All right. We can't flashback Flame of Anor. I actually think that the play is flashback Snapcaster. I know that sounds kind of weak, but like it just resolved. Like the Archmage Charm did just resolve. Yeah, and now is a narrow window in which we can do it without having to live in fear. Okay. Blue. I am almost certain we're going to go to time with 9 minutes on the clock. We are very far away from, finding a way to win. Okay. Are you going to pyro now? Oh, interesting. Okay, well, I do think I'm going to go ahead. I do want to get this on the table. Yeah, I'm going to play it out. I'm not going to hold up force. There are lots of disgusting things they can do here. Oh, that's fine. 1 for 1. They're down to 2 cards, but they have their own engine, Cling to Dust. They can start excelling things. It is interesting, like that they. Oh yeah, because they tapped out of Cling to Dust. That was another reason I wanted to mention that I went for it when I did with the Snapcaster. Cling to Dust is incidentally not bad against us, and it's a great grind card. This is a card that I don't think is playable, that James Giselle plays. It always comes into play tapped. I don't like the lack of optionality. He's getting back, and we have to discard a card. Well, it's going to be the Force, and we're going to use the Plow here, and we're going to be down 2 cards, essentially, because they're going to snap here. Yeah, this is just madness. This card's so good. Yeah, and now, even if we kill this Bowmasters, they've got the army. I definitely feel like this game's out of reach. Maybe I should have taken my time more. All right. Another Tamiyo's not bad. I'm going to go ahead and Tamiyo here, and I'll just hold up the Plow. No, I'm going to Plow now because they have Hardcast Force. All right, and if they 1 for 1 my Tamiyo, that sucks, but yeah, our cards are on the table. In the land of milk and honey, you must put them on the table. No big deal. No big deal at all. We're so dead. This Grixis player, Masala Chicken, is making us his lunch. Their lunch. Man, just completely getting destroyed by this Grixis control deck. I don't think it's an unfavorable matchup, but they have a ton of 2 for 1s, and we don't. I think that's like the big difference. Yeah, I'm going to concede in a second. I just want to see what I want to draw. I guess I could draw like Snapcaster into what, like Brainstorm. They technically did tap out. Oh, that's not good enough. Yeah, I'm going to concede. Yeah, I'm not going to wait around because we had to win 2 games in 8 minutes, and we're nowhere near even winning 1 game. Yeah. So the streak is dead, but like bigger control deck, and I would argue that like maybe they're even bigger control deck than us. Like we're playing cards like Snapcaster Mage. They're playing cards like Cling to Dust. Like they're playing for an extremely long game. We're playing for just like I think our deck is much better suited to go against combo deck, and we did beat kind of pseudo combo. We beat a Stompy deck in a combo deck, but I don't think we're well suited for like just pure control mirrors because our Flame of Anor really doesn't do a lot. Like draw 2 cards, yeah, that's good, but the other 2 abilities have virtually no impact on our opponents. Every single creature in their deck has an ETB trigger. They've got planeswalkers like Teferi, or not Teferi, but Narsa, and probably, I suspect, Kaito that also generate value. So yeah, I definitely felt behind the entire time. Right, round 4, we're up against a likely Nadu Elves player. How do we beat Nadu Elves? Let's think about this. So Soul Guide is not part of it. I don't think Force of Will is like particularly good here because they have 4 Allosaurus Shepherd. I think we actually mulligan this. We're looking for a removal heavy hand. This is not removal heavy, but I'd argue it's better. We can put back the Mystic Sanctuary, and we can potentially just grab a Surveil Land. I think that's fine. I definitely don't want to have to force something, but I will force a Green Sun for 1 because that is going to be... Yeah, unfortunately, because we cast spells from our graveyard with Snapcaster Mage, I don't have Grafdigger's Cage in my sideboard, which is one of the best cards you can have against Nadu Elves. I do think that getting the Magus of the Moon should be okay here in the post-war games. But I don't think this is a favorable matchup. Yeah, so I'm going to... I mean, I could just lead with Meticulous Archive. I think that's fine, just to get it out of the way. We're probably not going to be brainstorming this turn. Plains is not what we're looking for. They don't have anything that interacts with our mana, so we dodge the bullet there. I think most likely we're going to brainstorm in the Snap Brainstorm. Or, you know, if we can find removal, like the best card we could draw would probably be like a Prismatic Ending or a Plow, and then we could like potentially Snap Plow over the next few turns. This is a Hierarch, which is not a big deal. Okay. So I think we go ahead and start by brainstorming here, because I do want to put back these forces. They're pretty terrible. And if I can find a removal spell, I will go ahead and get rid of that Hierarch. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We don't need all these lands. I'm just going to put this... yeah, I'll just go get another Tundra and I'll Plow. I'll do this now. Next turn, We can snap the plow and plow something else. Force is almost certainly going to get pitched to force at this point, but we will do that if they put a Nadu on the stack without protection. Unfortunately, we can't stop this, but we will plow it next turn. Bird of Paradise can't be countered. All right, so the scary thing is that they could have multiple of these, and we get rid of the first one, but then we have to deal with another one. Dress down is not terrible. Something we can definitely do later, but right now we just have to get rid of this Allosaur Shepherd. I'm going to go ahead and get the Valkyr. We're going to have to use it. Again, I'm not going to play around. I don't think their deck is very fast, and I don't think they even care about what you're doing on your side of the table. I don't even know if they play Plow. All right, Force is back on. They do have 3 mana, though, so we do have to worry about Nadu. I will probably pitch Dress Down to Nadu. Okay, this is fine. This does represent more mana, but mana's fine at this point. Korean Ranger is even more mana. I think we just have to let it go. We just have to take for granted they're going to have tons of mana for the rest of the game, and we have to stop their business spells. Business spells being Green Sun Zenith, Natural Order if it's in their deck. We can take a look at their list. So they likely have just 3 Allosaur Shepherd. This is from like a month ago, though. It could have changed, but it looks like they're doing the 4 chords, 4 Green Suns, 3 orders. So a lot of scary stuff. The only other card that we really need to think about is Springheart is really problematic if it ever resolves. It is something you can spell pierce. Yeah, that's fine. Hopefully there's a natural order. This is a quarter calling. X equals 1. They are going to go get the protection guy, and we are going to force this, and I'll just keep the force around, sadly. I don't think it's correct to do otherwise. That was probably going to go get... that might have actually been headed for... Okay, unfortunately, I don't think we can Tamiyo because we have to be ready. They have 1 more card in hand. Okay, so let's talk about Tamiyo here. If we Tamiyo, I am going to do the damage here. I don't think they're likely to attack. If they want to unblock and block, that's fine. Untap and block. If they have Nadu, we need to be able to force it. I think we have to wait a turn. And then hopefully we draw a Flame of Anor. That's the card we really need here. But there's so many cards they could have here that just end the game. Natural Order. Yep, that's one of them. They could still have Nadu. They could still have lots of stuff. Okay, land. Such a relief. Okay, so I am going to keep attacking in. Okay, they're attacking too. Maybe it's a mistake to attack in because they can untap and block and then we don't have Flame of Anor on. Okay, this is... Okay, so we could just take this. I don't think that's what we want to do, though. I do think we want to just draw 2 cards. What we can do is we can chill, and if they don't cast anything, we can draw. Because if they cast something like another Natural Order, I definitely need to be able to counter it, and I don't want to count on the top 2 cards of my deck being what I need. They're going to go get another... they're not going to get the Dryad Arbor? That's fine. Okay, they just played from hand. Okay, and now we can... There's no point in taking any of their cards. Technically we could take one and then use it to block. That would be cute. I don't think that's what we need to do here. This is something we can Snapcaster back later, though. Okay, we drew a Spell Pierce, which is pretty dead. We can Snapcaster to get back a Brainstorm here. Fourth Aerolingus. This is pretty terrible because... Let's see. I think we attack and we see if they block. Is that right? I don't think that's right. I think we just hold back blockers. I think I am going to go ahead and main phase this. No, I'll do it later. I'll wait another turn cycle. Because Spell Pierce, if they do a really giant Quarter Calling or a Green Sun Zenith, gosh. I don't think Spell Pierce is going to help us here. But we might be able to Brainstorm into a Force. I don't know. I'm going to wait for a turn. I think Flame of Anor is a really good card if we can find it. Please don't have business. Play another land. Okay, they're fetching here. Are they going to get another Dryad Arbor to further bolster their mana base? No, they're getting a Nadu mana. Here's Nadu. Maybe not. What is this? This has got to be Nadu, right? Oh, is this Leovold? Okay, so This is bad news. I think we have to brainstorm and find one of our 2 remaining forces. Yeah, and I think that's it. Like, if this resolves, the game is effectively over. Had I taken one of their lands, I could have prevented this. We'll be so lucky if we find a force. It's 2 cards and 43 cards. So it's extremely unlikely. Oh, whoa. Oh my goodness, that's so good. That's so good. I think at this point we actually 4th next turn and we take the Monarchy just to start drawing cards. If they take it, we can take it back, I think. Oh my goodness. Yeah, if we just attack with 1 Trampler, they'll have to double block it. Oh my goodness, this is so good. Okay, so Ponder. I do want this Ponder. I don't. Well, I'm going to pitch the Spell Pierce. Yeah, I can't have both Ponder and 4th Aerolingus. I'm just going to take the... yeah, and we're going to go ahead and force here. Gosh, what a freaking crazy top deck. I did not deserve that. I think that the play was to like use Archmage Charm to take one of their creatures or something like that instead of drawing. But had I not done that, I wouldn't have opened myself up to this possibility. I think we put Archmage Charm on top when we fetch here. No, we put Force on top. Is that right? We're only going to draw 1 card. I think it's got to be Archmage Charm here. It seems like a pretty good card to draw. I mean, they have lots of live top decks with the amount of mana that they have. Okay, so let's think about this. They can bounce a forest. I think we just attack with these 2, and then they can technically attack in, and we'll just trade with these to keep the Monarch. I'm going to attack with both of these. So we'll get our Archmage Charm. We get the Monarch. And we're going to try to aggro them from here. Archmage Charm taking their Quirion Ranger seems pretty strong, considering how... I mean, that's like something they can use to trigger Nadu. They could just draw Nadu. They could just draw another one of their 11 spells in their deck that goes and searches, or they could find a land and we can win. Okay. Wow. Wow. Oh, that was amazing. That felt amazing. Okay. So post board. I sent a telephone booth back to myself to remind myself to, Ted, don't forget to take out your Soul Guide Lantern. All right. It's like totally hidden down there. These are great. I think Wrath is great here. I think Force of Negation, sadly, is necessary because it's not good. It's not good. No, I can't bring that in. I can't bring myself to bring that in. I don't know that we have anything else. Magus, non-basic lands. I think this is still a 1-1. Like the Arbor is still a 1-1. This does shut off their mana a little bit. I don't think there's a high likelihood that we can lock them out of colors that they need. We might be able to lock them out of white. I mean, it's a wizard. Oh my goodness. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I think Spell Pierce is going to be pretty instrumental here. I think we can cut a land. I'm going to cut the mountain. Yeah, I think we're just going to run it with that, with just those 2 substitutions. Wrath should be insane if we can find it. Well, I'm going to proactively fetch white sources with the anticipation that we're going to need to cast Wrath. And if we find Wrath, that will help us win the game for sure. Like that would be like such a beating for them because it does get this does hit the Dryad Arbor as well. So this is double force hand. It's very slow, but I think we keep it. Because what we're really looking to do is stop their explosive early plays. Oh man, but what if they do have the thing and we spend like 2 turns trying to find it? We're on the draw as well. I think I'm going to mulligan and try to find some removal. This is a much better hand. Flame of Anor actually does stuff here, which is nice. I think we put back a flame. Yeah. I like Snap because it's a defender in case we do get the Monarch early on. Yeah, there's a bird. We are going to bolt that bird. And then we will snap back and bolt that bird again. Force is a great pickup. There will be a window after we bolt this bird where if they play the other, the shepherd, then we're not going to be able to kill it because we're going to need to use a turn cycle to ponder and maybe Surveil Sylvan Safekeeper. I don't want to fight against this card. This card is a total pain. And I think, sadly, it's the Ponder here, because Flame is kind of how we're going to pull ahead later. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And they didn't have a land drop? No way. Okay. We might actually be allow listed. Okay. We drew another Ponder. That's great. I'm going to go ahead and Ponder first. Wrath. Okay. So we don't want the Sanctuary. We do want this Valk, and then we just want to go get another Tundra. Okay, so I'm going to just trying to think if there's anything. I'll just play out the I'm trying to think, is there a situation where Wrath would not be good? I mean, Wrath is definitely good later. Okay, I'm just going to not think too hard about it, and I'm just going to put this out there, and we'll definitely need the third land, but we won't necessarily need the Wrath. One of the problems with Nadu is, like, you know, they can play all their stuff in one turn, and then, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to Snap Plow. We will draw the Wrath. It's just too good to ignore. But I want to keep their mana under control here. Let's go get another Tundra. Glad I have so many dual lands in my deck. I've seen decks where they like play a lot of non-dual lands, and that would have been bad there if we didn't have a second land that we could fetch. What fetch were we? Yeah, we were getting out Flooded Strand, so we could have gotten the basic, but yeah, I still like having lots of blue because we have freaking Archmage Charm in our deck. It's like literally triple blue. Okay, so we could just Wrath for 0 here, or we can Flame of Anor. Yes, red, white, blue. Gosh, we do not deserve this blowout. I did not think that this match would be favorable at all. Let's draw. Let's kill your Dryad Arbor. Wow. We didn't get a land. I'm going to go to combat, and we're going to start the beatdown. It's going to take a while. They've got 4 cards left in hand. I probably will just Wrath whatever they put on the table. Wow. No play. You love to see it. All right. Another land. I think I'm going to Brainstorm this Wrath away, probably. I just don't think it's that important. I'd like to find a 4th Aerolingus. Okay. Tamiyo is great. Spell Pierce seems really good here too. I think we'll put away Wrath. As weird as that may seem, like it's not going to multi for 1 at this point. I think we keep this, and I'm just going to try to pull ahead here. Well, I mean, we'll redraw those actually, so it's not that big of a deal. I like having Spell Pierce up. I think we've gotten rid of both the Dryad Arbors, so Green Sun Zenith isn't even like a good card anymore for them until they draw another land. I'm so happy that we got through Sylvan Safekeeper. That was like definitely the force. Okay, it looks like we're getting some lag. Can't tell if it's my client or if they're conceding. Got there. Round 5. Let's do it. We're 3-1. Losing only to Grixis control James Kisau's pile. Round 5. We're up against a fellow B. Danger B. This against a totally unknown opponent. I think we keep. All I know is that they played Maverick like at a 5K like almost half a year ago. I mean, they could be on anything that seems like a totally defensible hand. I'm going to keep it. If they are repping Maverick, this is not a good hand. Once. Yeah, I don't force these. I think it would be a Spell Pierce if we had the mana. It also means probably they're not casting a lot of instants and sorceries or non-creature spells. Bogart Trawler. Street Wraith. Okay. What in the world? Is this some sort of Doomsday pile that runs once upon a time as Street Wraith? Bogart Bog. Okay. That is a good card, by the way. I played in my Esperval deck. I like the fact that they're starting that way. I think we just keep up the option to Surveil. I think that's more important than anything else, because there's a decent chance that we're not going to be able to Spell Pierce. And I am definitely pitching Spell Pierce to a force if they cast a creature that I can't counter. That's good. Okay, they could be on Oops All Spells. Okay, yeah, it's just Oops. Well, we have the hand for this, thank goodness. Undercity Informer. So if we force here, I think we just force here, and this probably crumples their hand. If we let them use the mana, then they don't have mana up for the others, the Dread Returned. To our knowledge, they could have, but they have to pay 1 to activate this. After they pay 1, they get a bunch of stuff, and then we just counter the. They won't have a mana necessarily unless they have a Spirit Guide. I think we let them go for this because I think them rebuilding will take a long time, or may not actually take that long time from 4. I don't think there's a lot of danger in this. Yeah, go ahead. All right. So, we could be totally punished here. We'll see what happens. There are those Narcomoebas. Oh no, I didn't think about the fact that they could have a bunch of Cabal Therapies. They're almost certainly going to name Force from the therapy. Let's see. How many Cabal Therapies do they have in the yard? 1. If they have a second one, 2. I think I just punted. I think I just lost the game. Yeah, because that was a terrible punt. If I just forced there, we wouldn't be in this situation. It's possible that they Cabal Therapy and they name the wrong thing, but then they can just therapy again. And they're going to get, do they have, man, everybody's on this freaking deck. I think we'll do okay. Games 2 and Games 3. Do they have the actual Poxwalkers? I don't actually see Poxwalkers. They do have a Bridge from Below probably, right? This is a non-standard list. It's possible that they can't win because they Cabal Therapy and they don't have enough stuff left. I don't see Poxwalkers. I don't actually see the Jack-o'-lantern thing. Oh, yeah, there it is. But they don't have the mana for that unless they do have the mana for it, which they might. Okay. But I will say there's 0 probability that they name Spell Pierce with this because it's just not a widely played card. And they're not getting anything back. So if they Spell Pierce again, they don't have the option of Dread Returning. So I'm going to let them do this. I'm going to pop out the log here. They did name Force. Okay. So now we can just pierce their second one. Their second therapy. Because they're going to have to sack this to flash it back. They don't have double blue to cast. Okay, so I can just pierce this. But they may have double mana to stop this. There's no reason to show them we're playing red. I'll just grab the Tundra. And we're going to attempt to pierce this. And then next turn, they can, during their upkeep, do something. But we're going to pierce again. So they need double things. Double Spirit Guides. Pact. That also does it. Yep. I should have totally forced that thing. I would have been able to stop the Pact. Or I would have, when they packed it back, I would have been able to stop it. So yeah, that was just a total punt. Sorry. It's excruciating. This drawn out death to oh great. Yeah, they had that covered too. So, okay. So let's not let them go off. I think maybe it's almost always wrong to let them go off. And maybe I've been doing that more than I should, is my takeaway from that game. Okay. So post board, we are absolutely bringing in Force Negation. Unfortunately, Surgical no longer does it because they've got Memory Journey, but we can bring it in. We're going to bring in this. We're going to bring. Ghost Vacuum is terrible, but it does something. Consign can come in. We didn't see any reason to do anything other than. Pyroblast can come in. We're literally bringing in. Not literally. We're bringing in most of our stuff. Okay, so cards that are coming out. Flame of Anor is too slow. It's blue. Plow's coming out. I don't think they're likely to. They actually could bring in the what's it called? The Xantid Swarm. That would be pretty annoying. I'm definitely taking out a land. I don't think Mountain is particularly strong in this matchup. Dress Down does stop the Thassa's Oracle trigger if we somehow get to that point of the game. I'm kind of thinking of taking out Prismatic Ending. We can always Flame of Anor to kill the Xantid Swarm. That is something you do a turn later. It takes 3 turns to get up to that. But I like that better than I like Prismatic Ending, which I think is not going to do anything. And Plow is not going to do anything. Fourth Aer Lingus doesn't matter. There's no world in which we get to that point of the game, we can just close with Snapcaster and yeah, just Snapcaster. Really, that's like literally our win con. But I think we'll lock it down before we get to that point. You know what? I think I'm gonna actually take out the ETB tap land instead. Mystic Sanctuary. Yeah, I'll take out the Mystic Sanctuary. That's a blue source. Bring this back in. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm not really sure what to cut here. Archmage Charm is so much mana. I think we cut it. And I think we cut one of the consigns. Consign's pretty bad. Well, consign's actually good if they bring in the Belcher plan, which they did the other day. Yeah, I don't want to cut Flame for the reasons I just discussed. I guess I'll cut Tamiyo. Let's submit. All right, hopefully that gets in. Otherwise, we're completely dead. No Rod doesn't really stop anything in their deck. It doesn't actually stop the Jack-o'-lantern thing. I'm so embarrassed I lost that game. They had Pact, but we had Pierce. They could have just exiled one more thing and then gotten it in, but we wouldn't have been able to remove it, I don't think. Yeah. So we're on the play with a non-turn 0 interaction hand. We have to mulligan this. I mean, Soul Guide's a pretty damn good card. Yeah, I think we keep this. I'm going to put back a land. I will put back Volk, and I'm just going to open with Soul Guide. And the great thing about Soul Guide and cards that you're playing out turn 1 are they can't pack them. Okay, I didn't see a Chancellor. I'm just going to play this out and pass. And if they're able to Belcher me, that's going to suck. It is worth noting that Flame of Anor does deal with Belcher. Okay, they just scooped to that. I'll take it. All right, final game of the league. Can we beat the turn 0 combo deck on the draw? So these Soul Guide Lanterns are a lot worse on the draw. What else is bad on the draw? I mean, maybe we do take out a Tamiyo and we bring in another Archmage card. I mean, it is a counter spell. I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore, what to feel anymore. I think I'm going to take this out and bring this in. Yeah. Yeah, it's one fewer ETB tap land. I think 19 is the lowest I'm willing to go on land. I'll keep the Lorien Revealed in. Yeah, it's going to be rougher because we're not going to have access to Spell Pierce. Yeah, I think I'm going to run it like this. It is crazy to depend on Snapcaster combat damage to win. But, like, they're not going to know that. Because who would do that? Who would be so cavalier and reckless other than be excellent to cut almost all their win cons and rely on 2-1? This is like a vintage strategy, by the way. There are people that do this in vintage. Because we're on the draw, we have to mulligan this. Otherwise, I would snap keep that Soul Guide, but I'm not going to rely. Similarly, they're going to 5. This is great. This is freaking fantastic. Precisely what we need. Okay, so we're going to keep this. I'm going to put... We only need one. Let's think about this. So, Ghost Vacuum is definitely worse. Yeah, I'll put back Ghost Vacuum, and I will put back... Yeah, sadly, I probably do need to put this one back. Yeah, we're actually 2 turns away from being able to interact with it. So we have to get through this turn with Force, and then we have to get through the subsequent turn as well. This is not an easy... This is not a good hand, but it's... We'll see. They mold to 4. I think we probably have enough to make it through a mold to 4. So I'll definitely put Snapcaster behind there, and I'll archive, and then we will, hope to the heavens that they don't just kill us. If we draw a land that doesn't come in tapped, then I'll feel a lot better. Okay, now I feel a lot better because we've got 2 points of interaction. I don't need anything other than... I mean, this is not the worst. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this because it does give us the ability to get Snapcaster out if we don't have to pitch our entire hand this turn. Okay. Now I think we win, but I'm not going to be overconfident because I've lost many times in this exact situation to... Oops, I've underestimated it. All right. They can still win off... if they're on Belcher, they can still win off that, and they can also still win off of casting from hand. I'm going to go get my Surveil land here. That's a good card. I'm going to keep that. We're going to draw that. We'll do it in step. We did it. We won. Oh, Yes, 4-1 with Wizards, losing only to bigger control. Let's take a look at this beautiful deck. So yeah, like, I mean, a 4-1 is exceptional. If you can actually get a 4-1, in my humble opinion, like, I know people are always posting their trophies and stuff like that. Like, there's only one person out of 32 people that are going to trophy, right? That's just how math works. So you can assume that, assuming you're playing against equally skilled players, only 1 out of 32 of them is going to trophy in any given league. Yeah, like, I felt this deck felt great. I mean, Archmage Charm, we never really used it. It could probably be another dress down. It could probably be a lot of things. It just feels like a win more card, frankly. See if I can get it bigger. What cards could we... I mean, it seems weird to say, like, oh yeah, like bigger control deck. But I mean, we're playing 4 Snapcaster. We got tons of value. Maybe I just misplayed that Grixis matchup, and maybe it is winnable. It felt really rough when everything they're doing 2-for-1s, and Tamiyo doesn't 2-for-1 if it gets bolted, right? It's just a 1-for-1. Prismatic Ending, I kind of said this like in a few videos ago. I think Prismatic Ending stock goes down a lot now that Vexing Bubble and Frog are out of the format. I mean, you could argue that maybe it's not even worth splashing white at this point, and we could just be playing blue-red, and then we might be able to get some Wastelands in. But I do think that, Fourth did close a few games for us, and it is nice being able to have it as a win con. If you take out the white, let's say hypothetically, let's just do a quick experiment. So I'm going to create a copy of this, open a new copy. Okay, and if you were, done watching me play and you don't care about the brewing process, be excellent to each other and party on. But if you want to stick around, let's go ahead and just brew. So if we take these out and we bring in bolts, first of all, Lightning Bolt is a strict downgrade pretty much in this deck where we don't really care about our opponent's life, but there are decks like Eldrazi out there that do care about life. So let's say hypothetically we bring these in. So we've got 4 bolts now, and then I think we can take out the white lands completely. We can still play the Thundering Falls. That's okay. I'll just leave the fetches as is for now. We'll fine tune them later. I do think Soul Guide is really freaking good right now. I mean, it was really good main deck. Like, I don't know if it actually came up that it was good, but like, it is good. It's a really good card. What we could do instead of Magus of the Moon here is I'd love to play like double Price of Progress. I think it's good. And being able to snap it back is great. So if we go straight blue-red, and I'm sure there are lots of blue-red lists. I'm sure Punishing Waterfalls himself has played blue-red lists. But what I would probably do is I go like that. And then we could get rid of Wrath of the Skies. And, do we really want to be playing more dirtily cards like Dress Down? Not necessarily when we're going blue-red. We definitely don't want Archmage Charm. And then what we'd probably be able to do, bump these up to like, 4. I mean, I'm like definitely playing as many dual lands as I can usually. So that's 18. We might even be able to go to 19 because we're just less mana intensive. We could put like a Wasteland in, which would be nice. Wasteland is, even if you're not trying to tempo people, it's like land still plays Wasteland. It's just a good card to get rid of problematic cards like Cradle. And occasionally you can like screw your opponent, which is always nice. So if we do something like that, and then we've got 20 lands, we might be able to go lower. We might be able to cut one of our fetches. And then we can also bring in... I'm trying to think of some other cards that would be really good here if we had a little bit more build space. Oh, Prismatic Ending comes out too, so that's another 2 cards. I think we could play, like, we could stick to this 4 Spell Pierce, and actually Wasteland kind of reinforces our Spell Pierce plan that was already latent here, but wasn't really fully expressed. Here, this comes out too. And then, I mean, frankly, like, let's just play some freaking Murktide. Murktide is so good. Murktide dominates Eldrazi. It's so hard for them to get rid of it, other than Devourer Destiny. And we are going to go up against... And I like being able to put the pedal to the metal. Sorry, but Fourth Era Lingus is not putting the pedal to the metal. That's like a turn 5 play. Turn 6 play, maybe, if you want to play around Daze Protection. Or turn 7 play if you've been Wastelanded once or twice. So I think I'd probably play something like this. And then we could go ahead. I mean, we could just bring in more, and we could bring in days, or 1 or 2 dazes, and that is definitely better than playing 4 Spell Pierce. I don't think Spell Pierce is a 4 of. I think it's probably a 2 of. We get the days here, and then boom, 1, 2, 3 dazes, and then I mean, it sucks to be bouncing stuff back to your hand and stuff. Like technically, Snapcaster is like a 3-mana play, but we still have our wizards. We've got our win con, which also pitches the force now. We don't have to worry about getting mana screwed really. Yeah, and then we could probably play like the 4th Pyro for and probably maybe even play this, and then get rid of Ghost Vacuum. I wish there was a good blue, like a red card that dealt with stuff, but I actually think it's probably fine to play another Soul Guide main, because the Nile Spellbomb decks do play 2 Nile Spellbomb usually. And then we can just get this out of the board, and then we've got our Surgicals in the board, which Surgical is a pretty bad card, except against lands and Reanimator and Dredge. Like those are the only archetypes that I think you ever bring it in against. But like we've been able to up our blast density, which blasts are great for longer games against fair decks. They're also good against like certain types of permanent combo decks like Show and Tell. And then Price of Progress is so much better. Like we're going to do so much better against Eldrazi with this card in our deck. Oh, we want to bring this up to 4 for sure. I don't know what the last 2 cards would be. Leave a comment if you have feedback on this, but I definitely want to play this deck. Not immediately, like probably give it a few days. The sideboard looks really beautiful. Like I love having all these instants and sorceries that you can snap back. Snapcaster is a great card. I've loved it for so long. And really Flame of Anor puts it back on the map and makes it a playable card. Yeah, I think if we're playing 20 lands and 3 of them are Wasteland, I think that's doable. I don't think we need to go down to 19. We still have some degree of inevitability in Lorien. It's just like, what are these last 2 cards here? Yeah, and Daze is really good against fast decks. Spell Pierce is too, but I guess you get a turn with Daze, you get a turn with, yeah. I mean, maybe Spell Pierce is still the right card, and we don't want the Dazes. Because dazing stuff back to your hand is awkward. Spell Pierce was really good this league. Having 3 of them in our hand, had we not punted game 1 against what's it called? Oops. Had we not punted that game, Spell Pierce would have been amazing because we had 3 of them and we could have just forced and then Spell Piercer interaction, and then had Spell Piercers up for the subsequent turns. And I think we probably would have gotten there that first game. Yeah, I genuinely don't know what to bring in. Like, obviously, like bringing in another threat, like a 3rd Murktide, is totally legit. There is a risk that they start boarding in cards like Leyline of the Void. Oh, you know what we could probably bring in? Brazen Borrower. Brazen Borrower is pretty good. So I would probably cut one of these, and then I bring in 2 Borrowers. These are like better than Prismatic Ending for most part because they can hit any mana value, and Prismatic Ending can't. And then, gosh, we've got plenty of removal. It's all damage-based removal, but it's still fine. And then we've got this in case they somehow sneak and Atraxa into play, and we are absolutely desperate to win. Yeah, I don't know what the last card would be, but I will leave it to you, the viewer. Everybody vote in the comment for what you think the missing card for this is. And if you made it this far and I see your comment and I'm like, wow, they actually made it this far in the video and they left a comment, I'm going to be like ultra uber happy, like super duper up in the air, like tap dancing happy, because that means a lot to me that you care this much and that you'll listen to me ramble. Because I genuinely just think I'm some dude sitting in a room by himself, talking to himself as he plays leagues, going slightly crazy, but having a blast, an absolute blast. I love Legacy, and I genuinely think if they never printed another card and they just left it as it was, there would be decades worth of like theory crafting and fine, tuning and stuff. I mean, look at how rich pre-modern is, and it's really only like a few years of Magic the Gathering. We got 30 plus years here to draw from, almost all of which are legal in Legacy. And yes, like cards like Murktide obviate a lot of other threats that you could play. There are plenty of cards that nobody's ever going to play because Murktide was printed, right? There are plenty of, conditional cantrips or card draw or something that nobody's going to play because Brainstorm and Ponder exist. I totally get that and accept that. But I will say, on a whole, I'm just so thrilled with where the format is. The fact that I can put together a brew like this, go out in 4-1, playing against fair decks, playing against combo decks. The fact that people are even trying to play fair decks again is great, because I felt like for a long time it was just combo decks that I was seeing in queue, because everybody just needed to be able to beat Reanimator. Everybody needed to be able to beat Karnforge. But now there's space to breathe, and you can be casting freaking Snapcaster again and winning. That is joy to me. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.